How are you? Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our first village board meeting of 2024. Oh, I'm bringing everyone in. Welcome to our first meeting of 2024. It's a workshop session. We have just a few items of business this morning, but I'd like to open our meeting by recognizing the loss last evening of one of Cold Spring's finest, most honorable, and most beloved residents, Terry Leahy. His was a life distinguished by service to this community. As a young man, Mr. Leahy rose to the rank of U.S. Army Sergeant First Class as a combat engineer in Korea. He spent his lifetime engaged with the local American Legion, and even in his failing days, he attended the Veterans Day services on St. Mary's Lawn in November. Mr. Leahy spent 32 years with the New York State Facilities Development Corporation. He was village trustee from 1963 to 1972, which was an important era for modernization and environmental stewardship in Cold Spring. His tenure included the development of our wastewater treatment plant and a cleaner Hudson for all of us. He served the town of Phillipstown as a volunteer on the Recreation Commission from 1975 to 1978, then won a seat on the town board, where he served as a council member until 1988. And then in 88 and 89, he led as the town supervisor. Mr. Leahy was also an active member of the Cold Spring Volunteer Fire Company for over 50 years, coming to the aid of his neighbors, and he was a deeply good neighbor. Importantly, Mr. Leahy leaves a legacy of service among his family members, who are all being held gently by us in their time of loss. Among them, his daughter Kathleen is the supervising public health nurse for Putnam County. His granddaughter Tara is Phillipstown's town clerk, and his nephew Richard Shea followed in his footsteps as town supervisor. What better sign of a life well lived than to be followed and emulated in public service? We owe Mr. Leahy a great debt of gratitude, and I'd like to honor him with a moment of silence. Okay, thank you very much. Announcements. Garbage tonight goes out tonight for pickup tomorrow, recycling on Friday. We're waiting for an update from Royal on Christmas tree pickups, but as soon as we know anything, we'll get that information out. Dockside, there is still storm cleanup to do from the storm on the 18th of December. It's a job that requires our roadways and facilities crew working directly with Evan Thompson of Parks to determine a time when the ground can withstand the weight of the vehicles, because that's obviously very wet right now, but it may be easier after things freeze up a bit this week. Debris will be covered in snow. And then also we do expect a snowstorm this weekend. Watch the village website and email blasts and social media for notices about street parking this weekend if we get the predicted snowfall, 5 to 7 inches. Any announcements for anyone else?
I'll just throw in, I know everybody's kind of waiting for the parking plan to launch, and in the next week or two, we're going to send out letters to the residents who are eligible. So look in your mailboxes. You'll be getting letters just letting you know that it's time to apply, and it'll give full instructions on how to do so. So that's coming soon.
Okay, thank you. Okay, some appointments. Jesse St. Charles, who is part of the zoning board and was critical to the development of chapter 134, the updated zoning chapter, is willing to move from the zoning board over to the planning board. I think he will make an excellent chair. So I nominate him for a 5-year term as a member and a 1-year term as chair.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, and then Jeff is going to be reaching out to, so now we have 2 of the 5, with Ben having been appointed last week. Jeff is going to be reaching out to us to schedule interviews with the other candidates. We have a really solid group of candidates, which is great. And Lara Eldon will continue to serve until the other appointments are made. So we're covered in terms of a quorum for January. Hopefully we can wrap this up in January. HDRB, I'm really delighted to nominate Lauren Wallace Hall to a 5-year term. She has a professional background in historic preservation, and when the HDRB was writing its design standards, she was a participant in the focus groups that we did for the design standards. She brings a lot to the table. So may I have a second? Any discussion? All in favor? Okay, any opposed? Board business, reappointment of Andres Gill as prosecuting attorney. As a reminder, that Putnam County no longer provides prosecuting services through the DA's office for traffic tickets. So the village has to have its own by contract. Andres has served us for the last few years. He's served us well. I would move that we reappoint him as our prosecutor for the calendar year 2024. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The next one makes me really bummed. Jake Loria, who joined us in the fall on the roadways and facilities crew, has taken a job. He's been poached by the town of Kent. Take note, town of Kent, for a position there in Kent. We simply can't compete with the rates they're offering. So it's a really good move for Jake professionally, but he will be missed, and he worked really hard while he was here. And we'll be posting that position soon. So sadly, I make a motion to accept the resignation of Jake Loria. Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, who's got bills?
I make a motion to approve the bills in batch number 7175 for the amount of 59,747.15.
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that concludes our business. I would make a motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Good night, everyone.
Eight-minute meeting. That was amazing.
Yeah, I know.